Hi friends, good evening and hope you are all good. And today we are going to discuss about something, a career which is actually quite interesting. I hope you all likes to help people, right? Some people likes to have some tendency of helping each other and they feel so happy about helping each other, right? And do you ever thought about having a career which is actually like enhancing your pro-social behavior and making us a career? Do we have a sub career something like that? And the career which actually give us some sort of content in life and make us feel so happy to be a part of that career, and also you're getting happiness out of the career which you're having. Yes. And we which is actually, and many people actually do feel for people, unprivileged people who are marginalized, and people those who are actually kind of sometimes we feel for people when we really need help the people. And fortunately there is a career which is called social work. Social work actually deals with the people's community, family, individuals, and we are trying to enhance their life. We are trying to give a better life. We are trying to give their kind of well-being for those people dealing with these such people. And the career which today we are talking about is social work. Social work is actually mainly deals with, since I mentioned, the word social work intends to deals with all kinds of human life, human engagements, especially which deals with the society. And the basic things, which we are when we are interested in actually, kind of social work and what kind of degrees which we are offering is like a bachelor of social work as well as master of social work. And why people actually, you know, the subjects emerged in very recently. It's not a long old subjects. The subjects actually deals with actually some sort of, it's a part of social science. It was part of sociology. It was part of psychology. And then later on, it actually developed and emerged as a different subject. And throughout the world, actually, it is actually now it has become a very popular, and it's wherever you go and you can see one social workers are working as in every companies in mental health area as well as in management area, in community development area. Wherever we go, we can see one social work. So let us talk about it. What is it, social work? And since I told you that social work actually deals with people, community, unprivileged and underprivileged and marginalized people, and not only that, and actually also work with the corporative world too. And I would like to get some of your queries and I would like to answer it. And I'm just waiting for you to see some people coming over here. Okay, yeah, very few people over here. So let me continue. Okay, so in order to get into social work as a career, as a course, and people those who are actually completed the plus two, I mean the soon after SSLC plus two, it can be from any subjects, even if you're science, even if you're from actually so humanities, management, commerce, you can directly go for directly you can join for bachelor of social work. And even if you suppose if you have completed your bachelor's degree and if you would like to think of changing a subject into social work, that's also possible. So in order to become a professional social worker, and you need to have a master's in social work, which is called MSW. And throughout India, there are a lot of institutions actually providing the degrees, and it depends upon each institution. There are different kinds of entrance examination for that. And predominantly in India, when we focus on the most of the primary institutions which is offering the social work is like Tata Institute of Social Science, and Madras School of Social Work, and Delhi University, they have a separate department of social work. And in Kerala, we can see there is Loyola School of Social Work. I mean, in Loyola College, there is a department for social work, and Rajagiri Institute of Social Work. And there are plenty number of social work institutions. And when you Google it, and you will get a plenty number of social work institutions. And why I'm specifically today we are talking about the social work, actually the importance of social work, actually the career. And when we look at this as a career as a social work, and it's important to know, how much it is helping you as a career wise and how much it is actually helping you as a growing as a professional. And this is actually something like see everybody actually see today's world, we all look around for our own career, and but most of the times what we end up in career which we sometimes we feel like we are not content enough and we are not happy enough to continue our work, and we feel that we don't we get maybe we are getting maybe a good number of good digits of salary, but we don't feel happy about it. And some people actually sometimes they throw their life into the wrong career options, and ultimately they feel messed up with everything. And the social work actually it's like it gives a kind of pleasure, it gives a kind of happiness. And the main three branches in India especially, there are number of branches of social work. Main branches in social work actually deals with like, one is actually like uh, community development, one is like psychiatric social work, another is human resource development and human resource management. And if you are actually very much interested in helping people which is affected by the mental health issues, and this is actually the best thing is actually like choosing a psychiatric social worker. Psychiatric social work actually, the course is designed like first year will be the basics about social work, and the second year starts with your specialization, especially the fourth semester, especially in the master of social work, dealing with your specialization. And psychiatric social work in India, you can see that in NIMHANS is the best institution, and NIMHANS is actually a kind of a prestigious institutions. It assumes to be a prestigious institution for giving that master of social work in psychiatric social work, and which is actually dealing with psychological problems as well as mental health issues, dealing with the society, various areas of community mental health, and which has a tie-up with government organizational NGOs and other world organizations like UN, UNICEF, UNESCO, and everything. Wherever it is actually, they're all prescribing actually, and they're all actually, it's all mandatory to have a psychiatric social work in that team, which is dealing with the mental health issues. And in India, when we look at the mental health issues, it's actually quite, people are not sufficient enough to attend the mental health issues. And if you are really would like to be a social worker in the area of mental health, and you can choose as a psychiatric social worker, as a career in as a specialization. And if you are interested in management area, if you are interested in actually corporate area, and the corporate area, this is actually, there are a specialization called human resource management as well as human resource development, where they are focusing on how to enhance the management skills, how to enhance the productivity of humans in the company, in the corporate sector. There is actually all the corporate companies actually look for the social worker, and you are actually might be competing with MBA people still. They have a human touch of social worker, and they prefer actually social worker is a much higher level than MBS with regard to human lives in the management sector in corporate area. And other third section is dealing with actually community development. Here it is purely depends upon purely looking into that community areas, rural areas, where the people those who are actually living in the remote places, and where they required a lot of social support, where they required a lot of government support, and government of India as well as all NGOs are working, and they are actually high. There is a high demand for social worker in that area too. And these are the main three areas where in India that the specialization deals with. But some institution also provides some sort of super specialization actually. There is a question from Binoy Swaman. If you select social work as a career, how can you earn enough remuneration? Please, some of the occupations. Okay, he's asking about how much actually, as a career wise, how much you are able to be a successful career in terms of career. Frankly speaking, initially it depends upon many criteria. In reality, and if you are passing out from some prestigious institution like it is NIMHANS and Madras Close Social Work, and I have seen actually students are getting those who are actually easily getting the job of sometimes people can get between in Indian money is actually 15 to 50,000 to 1 lakh rupees, depends upon the companies. And even if you are coming out from an average institution of social work also, if you are confident enough for working whatever you feel for it actually, I can assure you that you might be getting around maybe 30 to 50,000 rupees of earnings. And apart from that, if you are actually a person which is likes to work by yourself and I would like to start up your own company, so you start up your own something like which you wanted to do something for the society and which you want to survive with that also. There is option like you can start up your own NGOs, and NGOs actually when you become a social worker and you're starting an NGOs, and if you are specialized in if you are actually, even if you are specialized in psychiatric, social worker, and community development, whatever it is, actually, you can start up an NGO with reference to the area, and can actually you get a lots of fund from Government of India and international organizations. And apart from that, many organizations are funding in if you are actually submitting your proposals. And it's actually varies, depends upon the companies, depends upon the organization, depends upon the area, depends upon the proposals also. And for a beginner, might be a little troublesome to get into something. Maybe an average institution passwords might be having a little troubles, but I can assure you that it's it's not, it's highly demanding and it's not that difficult. And when I'm talking about some other thing like this is actually when I had a long passion for do something for the society. When I during that time when I was actually graduating, I never knew that was actually that I never knew there is a social work at that time, and I never had an intention of joining for social work that time. So, but now the global scenario has changed a lot. This is actually now people are actually really worrying about the people, really worrying about the concerned society and unprivileged people, and there are a lot of opportunities. You feel happy. And actually, sometimes it's not about the money. Actually, it's not about actually the career. You have a promising career, but ultimately, if you have a strong feeling for others and strong feeling for empathy, and when we get exposure to social work and the basics of social work, and there is some criteria people will always, my teachers used to say that if you have empathy for people, if you have empathy for society, and if you have feeling for others, and and the social work might be a kind of career which you will get unlimited and conditional happiness from out of it. Might be seems to be philosophical, but still that matters a lot. The happiness matters a lot. And to talk about the basic things, social work deals with the kind of stuff which we are talking about. What else actually I should share? Okay, yeah. Then the entrance actually, there is actually the basic entrance. Soon after your graduation, also you can directly, even if you are actually graduating from any disciplines, they are actually eligible enough to join for MSW, no matter whether you're from science background, social work, science or commerce or whatever it is. And if you're interested in social work, you can directly apply for any sort of social work. You can apply for social work MSW, but there are criteria like notice they have a separate entrance examination, and enhance they have separate entrance examinations, and all the institutions have a separate entrance examination, and you need to go through the syllabus, you need to go through the previous question paper thoroughly, and before you trying for applying for this institution. Basically this is actually they look into the your general knowledge, they look into your English, they look into the basics things about social sciences. It's not that tough to get into that, but since it is actually the prestigious institution have a very tough competitions, you need to have a little more focused and a little more preparation for it. And even if you're not getting into prestigious institutions too, there are plenty of institutions which offers very good degrees. It's almost equivalent, but the exposure which you're getting in the prestigious institutions must differ from other institutions. So you always go for the best one. You always prefer the best one. And always you can list out institutions. I have actually explained very few of them, and there are a number of institutions. Banaras Hindu University, they are offering a social work, and there are like I have mentioned about Delhi University. I mentioned about this. I have mentioned about which in Kerala this is like Loyola College and Rajagiri, and all this in Calicut there is called something like Lisa College. All these are very good institutions, and Pondicherry University is providing social work, and there are a good number of institutions that are providing social work. And in abroad too, and in abroad also there are, you can, if you're actually interested in abroad, and like countries like Australia, New Zealand, and US and European countries, all those countries also providing, they are also giving social work as a very good professional degree. And for that, in order to get into that abroad, and you need to pass their own conditions like IELTS. Sometimes you may pass to some GRE examinations in some countries, and there are, you have to check it out in the website when it's a criteria. But yeah, I'm just trying to telling that, there are options in abroad also if you are interested. And if you have any more queries about to know much better in detail about it, actually, you can always contact us. We will in detail. We will actually explain it to you. And this is like we are giving a kind of an exposure about the social work as a career. And now most of us must be knowing about social work. Still, we would like to actually get attention of social work as actually career, And if you are a person actually seriously thinking about, accumulating money, and so much of business minded, may not be a right profession. I am telling so because, there are people actually sometimes, which may not work with this. Actually, you need work hard. You need to actually, put your heart and soul, and actually, this is ultimately a different thing. But whereas actually, sometimes, you in the course time, you have 1 year completely you're working on your syllabus and academic things, and the next second year might be focusing on completely in the field work, and you will be getting at all sorts of training in the field. And especially in the last semester, you have to need to submit a project, a kind of thesis thing, where you which one wherever you are interested in according to your specialization. And I've just given some sort of all kinds of information which came into my mind, so might may not be see. And wherever you have need some clarity, you can actually have a chat with us, or you can actually contact us anytime whenever you like it. And apart from that, I'm waiting for some queries. So anybody is actually, I believe, rather than a career, it's a passion. Yeah, it's Binoy. You're absolutely right. It's a passion, actually. You can't. As I said, if it's it, you should have some passion for this career. And apart from any other career, this is actually, you need some passion for this. You need some sort of happiness for it, actually. And the payment, I mean, the money and the salary, I'm sure that will actually. That's not enough. Might not be enough. I mean, what I'm trying to tell is, you will get it actually. If you, I mean, many of my friends actually have started, social work friends have started their NGOs. All those NGOs are working successfully. They are meeting their needs, all the needs, as well as actually they are so happy to be part of the social change, and they are so happy to be a part of, so-called social workers. And that's all for now, hopefully, and would like to sign off. And so happy to be here and with Lifology and talking about social work. And would like to sign off. Much comments coming up. So, thank you.